Hello there, my name's Anna Lundberg and I'm the founder of One Step Outside, where we help people around the world build a business and create a lifestyle that brings them more freedom, flexibility and fulfillment. And now I don't know about you, but for me, this time of year, September time in the UK, is incredibly deeply ingrained in me, into my very essence as back to school season, even though it's many years since I went to school. It's the time of sort of sorting things out at home, buying beautiful new pencil cases and pens, getting that new pair of shoes or whatever it is and getting ready for the new academic year. And while we may not be tied to the academic year anymore, or perhaps you are because you now have children, I actually think this is a great opportunity to ride the seasonality that's anyway happening and actually use this time, this sort of term time beginning, to reinvigorate our lives, our careers, our businesses before we reach the end of the year. It can be tempting to slow down as we reach the finishing line and just kind of postpone everything to set them up as resolutions perhaps on the 1st of January, but why not get a head start already now and set ourselves up for success for 2019. Not to mention, don't we want to, when we get to the end of December 2018, feel an amazing sense of achievement and satisfaction and empowerment rather than disappointment and frustration that we haven't done everything we wanted to do. So I want to give you 5 steps that you can take to set yourself up for success for these last 4 months of 2018. And now the first one is to declutter. Pretty fun, but I'm sure you've experienced this yourself. There's nothing like tidying up your bedroom so that you sleep better, going through sort of piles and papers and things in your desks, selling things on eBay, dealing with any kind of annoyances that have been lying around that you've been meaning to get round to. It's such a relief, liberating, and sort of opens up all sorts of creative possibilities moving forward. So number 1 is to declutter. Number 2 is taking that idea and taking it to you and your body and your mind and thinking about how you can really get yourself in order. So well-being, and this is something I talk about a lot, but your well-being is really fundamental to your success. So don't wait until 1st of January in order to really look back at the foundation of your health. If you're off track with your eating, your nutrition, your exercise and so on, then see how you can get that back on track over the next few weeks and months as well. Now, more concretely, when it comes to your goals, if you have been part of my community for a while, or if you have yourself been setting your own goals, and you'll have some very clear goals that you set yourself at the beginning of this year. So look back before we look forward. Look back at the goals you set at the beginning of 2018. What were your biggest wins and successes? Where didn't you make the progress you had hoped? What got in the way and what lessons have you learned? And where are you most frustrated that you haven't actually achieved the things you set yourself? And that last one's important for the next one, which is to set yourself goals for the remainder of the year. Now, if you were very ambitious at the beginning of the year, and if you haven't achieved a lot of your goals yet, then it's unlikely that you're going to do that now that we only have 4 months left. So much better, rather than postpone that sense of disappointment, much better to choose the one big thing that's going to move the needle for you, create the most forward movement for whatever area of your life that's most important to you, whether it's in your business, your career, your personal life, your health, and so on again. So really think about which of these goals are the most meaningful to you. Are they still meaningful to you? Why are they important? And then choose the one big thing that's really going to make the difference for you for the remainder of the year. And the final one is maybe a surprise, because I would usually say sit down and put a plan together. But the problem here is that you haven't done these things. How many months? 8 months have passed without you actually making any progress on these goals that you've now sort of refocused on for the next 4 months. So what I want you to come away with is actually to take action. So rather than procrastinate even further and create a plan and research and so on, what can you actually do today to mix things up, to kickstart this particular goal and finally take action on something that you've been sort of sitting on for the last 8 months and maybe even longer? So do you need to call someone, research something, book a discovery call with a coach, for example, hint, hint, or what is it you need to do? Call a personal trainer, whatever area of your life, what is an action that you can take today, a tiny action, one step that's actually going to move you forwards. So those are my 5 tips for you to review where you've been, declutter, get your health and fitness in order and so on, set new goals, and then really take action so that we're zooming through these last few months towards December. We're going to end on a high, and then we'll be set up in a really great place to hit the ground running in 2019. So I hope you enjoyed those tips. I'd love to hear from you what your one step is. So if you want to comment below, or if you want to private message me, that would be great. And I will see you back here next week. Bye for now.